His vacation over, President Obama got back to work today, and he wasted no time tackling a topic of high interest to investors, not to mention financial services executives. At a closed-door White House meeting, he sat down with the nation's top financial regulators to get a progress report on how the government is implementing the Dodd-Frank law. It covers Wall Street and the nation's largest banks. John Harwood joins us now from the White House with details on who attended today's meeting and why it was necessary. John?
Tyler, it was financial regulators from all across the government, including the Federal Reserve, CFTC, SEC, Comptroller of the Currency. And this was an attempt by the president to resume his effort to sell his economic agenda. Only about 40% of the regulations putting in place the Dodd-Frank financial regulation reform have been enacted or completed by the regulators. This was a pep rally to try to get them to finish that job. I caught up after the meeting with Mary Jo White, the chair of the SEC. Here's her assessment of this conference. Results of the meeting?
Just a very productive meeting talking about status and progress under Dodd-Frank, and keep going.
What's the most important thing that you've still got to do on Dodd-Frank?
Oh, I think we all have a number of important things left to do. Obviously, the Volcker rule stands out.
Now, of course, this is only one part of the president's economic agenda this week. Later in the week, he's going to go on the road upstate New York and press his case for a middle-out path to economic growth. And, of course, he's got to select a new Fed chair. Ben Bernanke, who attended this meeting, this may be one of the last times he's at the White House. We know that we believe that the two frontrunners for the job are Janet Yellen and Larry Summers, but we haven't heard from the president yet. We may hear from him pretty soon after Labor Day, Tyler.
John, it's Susie. You know, you talked about the top priority with Dodd-Frank, but what else is on this economic agenda that you just referred to? What's the most important thing that he has to get done?
Well, of course, the president's got fiscal standoffs heading up with Congress on continuing to fund the government, figuring out what to do about the sequester, whether the burdens of the sequester get rearranged, and also to raise the debt limit so the government can continue to borrow money and keep operating. We had a crisis in the summer of 2011 when Congress refused to raise the debt limit. That resulted in a downgrade. The administration believes that a debt crisis is the only thing that could really push this economy into recession. They've got to figure out a path to avoiding that.
Very quickly, John, back to Dodd-Frank. Why is the regulation writing taking so long?
Very complicated law. I was talking to a veteran of the Bush administration today who said regulators have been taking a lot of flack for how slow this is going. They were asked to give with a bunch of mismatched parts to build a new car and do it fast. Not easy to do.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. John Harwood reporting from Washington.